What's happening, everyone? It's Kyle from Magpie 24/7. I hope you're all good. It's a bit of a different one, this one. It's just a little bit of a channel update or a Magpie 24/7 content update, if you will. Um, Me and Paul were talking over this over the weekend when we met each other to watch a match. And I don't know, it just feels a bit strange at the minute. Um, because when we're doing podcasts and stuff at the moment, like the way the club is, I think it's not down to lack of motivation. It's not down to like can it be asked to do it. It just feels like in podcasts with the way the club's being run and with the way Steve Bruce is managing the football team, at the minute it just feels very monotonous to support Newcastle. It's very strange. It's a strange time to support Newcastle. We're in limbo with this takeover, and we're going from week to week, and it's toxic. It's difficult. It's it's a bit. It's just kind of stop start, and it's not like we're just halting things completely. We're just we're not gonna do. Basically, the news is we're not gonna like the podcast that we do. We're gonna switch to every month instead of after every game, if that makes sense. So basically, at the end of every month, we'll sum up the month instead of the week. Because basically, on a transfer front, there's nothing. On a manager front, he says the same shit every week. On a playing front, we'll play the same way every week. The problems the problems are very much the same as they were 2 years ago. And me and Paul have been doing this podcast for over a year now, and we love the podcast. I do. I still enjoy doing the podcast, but I'm not gonna lie to you. Like with me on this channel, with Paul on this channel, you get full on honesty with how we're feeling personally and how we're feeling like doing videos and doing podcasts and stuff. And at the minute, the way the club's being run, it's just running with like I can imagine a lot of you feel the same. Just as supporters ran down and trying to like be motivated enough to do a podcast. It's like it's infuriating. It's like at times it's like, oh, we're saying the same shit again this week, Paul. Like I don't know what I can say differently. Like, and I look around the like, I look around and I see like the fan channels. I see YouTubers covering Newcastle, and a lot of it is. I think a lot of them will feel privately. I'm more open and more honest about it, but I think they'll feel very similar to me, where sometimes it probably doesn't feel like it's worth it because you feel like the club you're trying to cover and trying to have an opinion about aren't giving you anything back that's worth it. Like I can't remember the last time me and Paul had a positive podcast, to be honest, about a game where we've played well and we've been buzzing to do a podcast. I think it was Leicester last season where we've kind of had a really good run of it. Had a good 90 minutes, good game, played well, lots of things to talk about, a lot of things to be vibrant and happy about, and I just think under this manager and under this ownership, it's really difficult to produce regular content in terms of like a long format, if you will, because like a podcast it's an hour to an hour and a half every week, and I just feel like we're conjuring the same shit, and like as someone that likes like for you if you've watched Magpie 24/7 from the start and you're really invested in what we do and stuff like I can imagine at some point I just feel like there's going to be a point where you start saying the same shit and turn off. And like the thing I value most is like the people that have been with us from day one since we left Newcastle Fans TV, me and Paul, to take this chance on ourselves to do a podcast and eventually YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. And like I value the interactions that I've built up and the friendships I've built up with those people in particular, and people that have joined one the way. I value you as well, and I just don't want the feeling of, oh, they're saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. They're saying the same thing. I'm just gonna go somewhere else because they're saying the same shit every week. That's how I feel regarding it at the minute, and it's like I just feel like there's nothing to be excited about with this club. And like when I go onto onto videos and stuff like, I want to be able to say that was a fucking good video. Do you know what I mean? I want to be able to say that was me and Paul were bantering back and forth, and we had and we do have good chemistry and stuff. Me and Paul are really good friends on and off camera, and on and off podcast. But like, I just feel like sometimes in podcasts I sound bored. I sound disinterested in the subject, and I don't want that. I think if like we're gonna do a podcast, you deserve the best version of ourselves. And I just feel like with the monotony every single week of like Bruce, Ashley, the way the team is, the lack of optimism in the club, it's just you're not getting that from us. And it's like I'm not gonna do a Newcastle United and just be like the bare minimum will do. I want the best for this channel. I want the best for yous watching. Like when yous watch, I want people to be able to say that was a fucking good podcast. And like, yeah, we might not be swinging with the likes of Gallagher shots, and might not be swinging with the likes of True Faith and stuff. But when you listen or watch us, I want you to be able to say a lot of good talking points, a lot of good opinions and stuff. And I just feel like with the way the club is not addressing the issues of 2 years ago, that addressing the issues of 14 years ago, it just feels like I'm saying the same thing. And the worst thing is, like, I was speaking to it about Paul. Like, if we could address the issues of a club, of the club without mentioning the match, because we'll do that a lot. We'll go overall and talk about the broad spectrum of things when we talk about things on podcasts. We could do that without mentioning a result every single week, and we could rehash it and say the same thing every week, and that could pass as to how we feel as supporters at the moment. And it's just like, you don't deserve that. You deserve better. You deserve different talking points, different opinions. So that's why me and Paul have came to the decision on Saturday that we're gonna change to a monthly podcast. Um, but in terms of like shorter videos, we are going to continue them. Paul's going to do his man in a van videos. He's going to do a preview every week, and his thoughts on the game as well. I'm also going to do this. I'm going to do me quick match reaction and stuff, because I feel over 7 8 minutes I can say different things. But over a lengthy podcast, I don't think I can. So what'll happen is it'll go from month to month. So at the end of, I think it's September now, or it's late August, we'll do a podcast at the end of each month and go through the talking points and stuff like that. However, me and Paul have said if something like major happens, like a takeover or like a big signing or a big win or something like that, we'll come back and we'll do a positive podcast. Because one thing me and Paul get accused of a little bit on Twitter in particular is like we're very negative, and we're very like we're just anti Newcastle almost, and it's like we don't like that tag, because at the end of the day we're just supporters like you. We want what's best for the club, but there's that much negativity around the club at the minute. There's nothing to be positive about, absolutely nothing. Like the toxicity around the club, around the manager, and then you have people making it toxic in the community, like to talk sport and stuff like that. They make it toxic with their invalid and irrelevant opinions, but they do it to get clicks, and it really stirs the pot among the Newcastle community, and it's just causing this toxicity I don't like. So like, I don't want to like be negative and be negative. I want something to be positive about as a fan. And like, I'm hoping if we make it like a longer podcast where we've got loads to talk about over the month, and best moments, worst moments from the month, and it's probably more worst moments, let's be honest. But I just feel like over a month at the moment, with the way the club's being run, it's just, you know what I mean. Like, if you're one of those that's sitting watching this now and you think I enjoy the weekly podcast, I really appreciate that. I really do. But I just think as a creator, I don't feel like we're doing it service at the minute, because we feel like we're talking about the same stuff every single week, and it's just unmotivating. We're all in on Magpie 24/7. We're really proud of how the first years went. A lot of people on board, a lot of people supporting. We're in ways we couldn't imagine, because like, we just kind of left a fan channel in hoping, would be able to interact with fans and enjoy creating content again, and stuff like that. And we've managed to do that. It's just the feeling around the football club. I'm just not gonna make content for the sake of it. Like, I'm not attacking any creators. If you creating content, you still enjoy it in the midst of this flipping shit with Newcastle. Fair fucking play to you. Do you know what I mean? But for me at the minute, I just think if we're lengthening out the podcast, we've got more to talk about every month. We'll have a better podcast for you, and that's what matters to me. So yeah, that's the update. There'll be videos on YouTube and stuff, and if you want, we'll put them on Anchor and stuff as well. So it streams out, but it'll only be like 8 9 minutes. But let us know what you think. I just thought a little honest update from me would be the best thing at the minute because yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to like be unhonest and be like, oh, we'll do the podcast and it'll be the same as it always is because it isn't. At the minute, it is not. It's just not the way it should be. And like, there's no other reason for me to do a podcast other than enjoy it and to interact with you a lot. And I don't feel I can do that if we're just saying the same stuff every single week and we're unmotivated about. You don't deserve an unmotivated podcast, if you know what I mean. But it's just I just thought I'd do a little update of how things are going with Magpie 24/7. We'll still be on Facebook every day, Twitter, Instagram. That won't be affected. Um, so don't worry about that. We'll still be on there, and you'll still be able to interact with every single day. But as for the podcast, it's just tiring trying to support this club at the minute. And it's like I really appreciate those who have stuck with me. I really appreciate those who have stuck with Newcastle fans in general. Like among like the fan channels and stuff, it has been a hard team to support at the minute, and obviously fans feel the same. We all feel the same, and it's just yeah. I think at the minute it's just a tough time. I think if things start to improve, actually I know this for sure. If things start to improve on the field, and maybe something happens with a takeover, me and Paul definitely go back to weekly, no problem at all. It's just at the minute, it's just stale, it's dead. As I say in many podcasts this season already, it's just a dead football club. We're just zombie walking into another season, and it's just like, yeah, in terms of trying to like have a podcast where we can enjoy it and you can enjoy it too, it makes it difficult because we're trying to like find positives, and it's just like yeah, this wall's blue. That's a positive. In terms of the football club, I don't know, but a nice little, well, not a nice little update, just an update regarding the channel. Let us know if you want. I value your input. If you want to comment how we should go forward, do so. I value your input. Um, but yeah, just get your comments and let me and Paul know how you feel regarding this change. It's a bit of a different one. It's not football related at all, but I felt it was needed, and I really do appreciate your support on this one. I really do appreciate your support in general. The support I got for Martin, me dad-in-law who passed away the other week, was absolutely phenomenal. Got a couple of really nice comments on social media and stuff because Paul put a post up about it, and on YouTube as well. So I really appreciate every single one of you for supporting us on that one, and support me from the get go as well with Magpie 24/7. But I'll stop drivelling on. I love yous and leave us for now, and I catch you in a bit, everyone. See you later.